joined today from the Department of Trade, Consumer Protection. We call it DATCP here at Fact TV, and maybe Michelle does too. I don't know. Michelle, what do you say over at Department of Trade, Consumer Protection? What's up, DATCP fans?
Well, we not quite there, but it is DATCP for sure.
All right. Well, thank you for coming back on and putting up with me for another segment. Today we're going to be talking about the Publishers Clearinghouse and the FTC. They have called out this entity in some way. And also we want to talk about some scams because there's been some recent scams in Dane County related to using this entity fraudly in a fraud sense, but that's something that's been ongoing for years. So first and foremost, tell us what did the Federal Trade Commission do recently with a lawsuit against Publishers Clearinghouse? Easy for me to say.
Yeah, so a bunch there to unravel. So the Federal Trade Commission, our national consumer protection partner, the FTC, filed a lawsuit and with the legitimate real Publishers Clearinghouse, or PCH, as you'd say. So the legitimate one where you see the commercials with the big January winnings and the balloons and the banners and everything. So they have agreed to pay $18.5 million to consumers who wasted their money on misleading sweepstakes drawings and to make substantial changes to how it's conducted businesses online. Everyone always wonders, does anyone really win and how legitimate is this? And people get very excited about it, and they continue to engage with the legitimate Publishers Clearinghouse in the hopes that they can enhance their chances of winning. So the Federal Trade Commission, because of the tactics that they use, charged the company for manipulative phrasing and website design to mislead consumers that a purchase was really necessary to win their sweepstakes drawing or would increase their chances of winning. So you don't have to pay to play type situation with that, but they certainly led consumers through their promotion down a path thinking that that would be better for them, the consumer. And the Federal Trade Commission also charged the company for adding surprise shipping and handling fees to the costs of products, for misrepresenting that ordering is risk-free, and used deceptive emails in its marketing campaign, also misrepresenting its policies on selling people's personal data to third parties prior to January of 2019. So a lot packaged up in that settlement, and why the value is so high.
Yeah, it's always, I think, been a question out there of a lot of reasons. Why does this organization exist? What is the storyline there? And to be actually held accountable, that's the business that you guys are in. You are looking at different companies that may or may not be, and it comes with complaints. It comes with people reaching out to you and telling these stories. That's what helps go and pursue stuff like this, where we can actually take some action.
Absolutely. Complaints are so important. And part of this case, what's unique is, again, this is the legitimate Publishers Clearinghouse, but then there's the one that calls you and says that you've won and asks you to make these other payments. So part of that unpackaging, again, is for us to decipher, was this the real one, or was this the imposter scam, where because the company is so well known and everybody wants to be a winner, these scammers are just impersonating this well-known company in order to get people's money and information.
Yeah, and that's actually where we're going to turn our attention to now. Dane County Sheriff's had put out a press release on Monday, July 31st of 2023, saying they were investigating several victim cases where victims were told that they won the lottery or the Publishers Clearinghouse. And I shared this with you. I was saying, you're just like, oh man, not again. and here we go. I mean, it sets up, it appears on these that it was by phone call. We were trying to confirm that, but nevertheless, when somebody reaches out to you, what do you say to that just alone? Whether they claim they're the lottery, whether they claim they're Publishing Clearinghouse, or insert blank here.
Yeah, well, what we want consumers to do is hang up, but what we try and make sure everybody's thinking about is, boy, why do you have to act in that 30 seconds that they've called you in order to take advantage of the opportunity? That is a huge red flag. And also with this one, when it's Publishers Clearinghouse, the imposter, did you enter? If you didn't, how could you have won? You know, that because they're calling to tell you you've won this prize, but you have to take an action in order to receive it. Well, when you win, you don't have to pay to get your prize, and you can't win if you didn't enter. So there's a couple things going on there. And again, you wouldn't need to act in those 30 seconds. So we really want consumers to just disconnect, no matter how enticing that phone call is to people.
And ultimately, if you do some reason participate in one or the, whether you think it's legit or not legit, and you're questioning that, what would you suggest people do to kind of start with, oh my gosh, I may have done something bad here, Michelle?
Yeah, well, it's going to depend on what form of payment. I mean, the scammers want you to pay by prepaid gift card, cryptocurrency, wiring money. That's how they want you to pay them, because that's not something we're going to be able to recover. It's not traceable. They're going to take it and run. And we're going to know that that was a scam. So let those also serve as your red flags, but regardless, report it. So we know it's circulating and can get the word out. And we can also try and locate them with our federal partners, because that has happened in other scams. Getting the money back could be a lost cause, but finding them is not. If you got involved legitimately and paid by check or credit card, there's something that's traceable there. And so still, again, really important that you report that as well.
And it's easy to report at DATCP's website, right? And or giving you guys a call. Like we tell everybody to do it, but importantly, I have filled out one of these forms, and it is not difficult. And it's just trying to get down the information of when, what, and how it happened.
Absolutely. You can do this at 2 a.m. so you can sleep better at night, knowing that you've completed your form. But go to the website, DATCP.wi.gov. There's an online form you can fill out, or you can download a PDF and fill it out and put a stamp on it and get it in the mail. Or you could call Consumer Protection in the morning if it's 2 a.m. At 1-800-422-7128, and we'll send a paper form out to you.
Finally, and I think just kudos to all the consumer protection entities across all of the United States. But when you see a story like this where the outcome is, hey, we finally made some headway, how do you guys feel on that? How do you guys take that when you're finally like, whew, we got through one? Because your investigations, you're collecting all this data, it takes time to get these things settled.
Well, we are super pleased when this happens, not just because of the work that we do, but it reinforces to consumers how important it is to file a complaint. Because I know there can be some fatigue there on some of these issues, but it really does matter that consumers take the time to file the complaint and give us that information. It is not a lost cause in doing that.
Well, that's why we keep having you back here, because we want to keep people up to date on what's going on out there and keep getting the word out, because that's the best thing that we can do is educate and give you a place to go to submit complaints and continue to stay ahead of these scammers and what's out there. Michelle, great job as always. Thank you so much for your time this whole month. We'll check back in with the team next month.
Sounds great. Thanks for having us.